Hey y'all, welcome back to my channel. We're back on this couch, so y'all know it's time to chit chat. Today I am doing a post-grad diaries video on the difference between staying home, staying with your parents versus moving away, and the different experiences that I have had versus the different experiences that I've heard from people as a 22-year-old postgraduate living in a new city. Because y'all know when I get my pajamas on, I get real comfortable and real talkative. So let's keep going and get into this video. First thing first, when you're thinking about where you want to move to, you need to think about where is the location in terms of industry, community, things that you want to do in life, your passions. That's kind of where you need to decide where you're going. So if you know that you're trying to go into like tech, I heard San Francisco is really good for tech. So you'll look for jobs in San Francisco. Or if you were trying to go into finance, Wall Street, you'll also maybe look at New York. I heard Chicago is good for politics, so maybe you will look for Chicago for that. But to figure this out, you can go on ChatGPT, but you also should just know these things if you're saying that you want to go into this industry. This is something that you kind of should know. But if you don't know, then just look on ChatGPT, because ChatGPT can tell you everything. Or just use Google, research it, okay? But yeah, so when you're looking for a place to live, pick a location based on your passions, your job, and community. Community, I would say, is like the last thing, because you can find community everywhere you go. If you know that your city that you're living in is not really known for what you have and what you're looking for, then you probably need to move. For example, I wanted to go into fashion. Chicago does not have that much fashion opportunities. It does, but it doesn't. Especially being someone who's kind of like trying to break into the industry and find as many opportunities as possible. When you're in such like a small niche area like Chicago, when it comes to fashion, you kind of want to branch yourself out and go somewhere where like you can get a lot more opportunities and it's a lot more space for it. So that's why I decided to go to New York. When I was looking for like jobs in the fashion industry, like none of them were in Chicago. Like it's probably like a little tiny amount of opportunities out there, but not enough for me to be like, okay, like yeah, I'm gonna live out here. That just goes to show for someone who wants to go into acting, like there's like one show that's being filmed in Chicago, maybe one or two, maybe three shows that get filmed in Chicago. But if you know you want to do acting, you're going to go to LA, you're going to go to Atlanta, you're going to go to these places because you know that that is where the opportunities are, so you know that that is what will work for you. But let's say you already live in LA, you already live in Atlanta. That's another reason why you maybe stay where you're at. Picking a location based on community. Community is very important. So if you're the type of person who knows you need your family around you, you probably need to stay where you're at. If you know that you can go without them and you're okay, you will be fine, you will survive, and you will find a new community, but you know, still go back home, visit your family, and all that stuff, then you are probably able to move. For example, family is very important to me, but I also knew that I needed to be somewhere else. And the fact that where I'm at personally, where I'm at now, which is Jersey, I still feel like I'm so close to my old community, or just my community in general. It actually like really helped me be comfortable with the fact that I was moving, because I already had so many like people that I know on the East Coast. So I'm just easily able to like be with them, like family in Jersey, or just friends in New York, friends in DC. That was very like helpful and comforting to me. But if you're not comfortable with that, I totally understand, and that would be a reason why you would want to stay where you're at and be with that community that can, you know, keep molding you into the person that you want to be. Honestly, this kind of goes with everything else, opportunity places. For me personally, where you move, where you pick your location should be a place that is going to bring you opportunity in your specific like room of life or passions. It is so many events in New York. In Jersey, I literally just went to one last week, a creator event. All their events are usually in New York. If I was in Chicago, I would not be able to get to these creator influencer events as frequently as I want to, because I'm in a place that doesn't have these opportunities readily available for what I want to do. So again, when you're picking a location, make sure that it's in line with your passions, your goals, your aspirations. Let's talk about budgeting and saving. That is a very big thing. I talked about this in my last post-grad diaries video. When you think about how much money you're about to spend, to like really live on your own, that can be very daunting. Like, I think a lot of people think that you have to save, you have to save, you have to save. But the thing is, you can only save so much. Like, how much are you gonna save for like the whole year? And then you're gonna like be out there and then like, I don't know. I just never understood the concept of saving, because yeah, you can save, but at the end of the day, you're gonna be moving out there, you're gonna have expenses, you're gonna have to pay for stuff. So whatever you saved is gonna leave. So what you really need to do when you're thinking about moving somewhere is be able to have a consistent income. Know that you're going to have something that's going to bring in money for you to continuously be able to pay your rent, pay for expenses, pay for your lifestyle. I feel like that's way more important than saving. Saving is important because you never know what can happen. Like, saving is just important for like your life in general, to save. But I don't feel like that should be your main reason. Like, I need to save before I move here. Like, no, you need to find a job before you move here, or you need to find something that's going to like pay for your lifestyle, your rent, your this, that, and the third, while before you go somewhere. So I feel like saving and, figuring out your life before you just move somewhere. So if that means, you need to figure out your life at home, then do that. If you want to figure out what you got going on, apply to jobs, and then know that there's something concrete that is going to happen for you, whether that be a business, an opportunity, a job, then move. So just don't be like going all willy-nilly. Like, me personally, I'm all about taking a leap of faith, but I'm also not crazy. Like, I am a very much so calculated risk taker. Like, I'm going to make it make sense a little bit and know that, like, life is life. So it might work out, it might not, regardless of how much you have things planned out. But I'm not just gonna move to a new city with nothing, or like no plan or nothing, and just be like, I'm here. No, I'm not gonna do that. Life is already hard enough. Why would I put myself in an even tougher position than I even have to be in? Like, I'll make myself uncomfortable, but that's a little too uncomfortable to not know like where, if I can like still pay rent next month. Like, that is a little bit too uncomfortable for me, and I just can't do it. All power to those who can. So that really is up to you. Me personally, I'm not really a budgeter. I haven't gotten into that side of adulting. If you have budgeting tips, please drop them down below. But what I am and what I do know is that a lot of the times I hear you cannot, even though you increase your income, doesn't mean you need to be increasing your expenses. Increasing your income does not equate to increasing your expenses, or it shouldn't. So you can feel like you're actually making money. A lot of times, people post-grad, just in life in general, you keep on making more and more money than you were before, and then so you keep on spending more and more. You get a bigger house, you get a bigger apartment, you get a better car, you start getting your lashes done every 2 weeks instead of every month. You start getting your nails done every 2 weeks instead of every month. You start going to eat steaks at Ruth Chris every single week, every Friday, every Saturday, instead of like maybe every month. But this will make you feel like you're never like really saving money. You're never getting to a higher tax bracket, because you're continuously spending the money. You're spending the money, you're spending the money. Well, you're getting to a higher tax bracket, but you're spending money on unnecessary stuff. So now you feel like you're not even into higher tax bracket. You feel like you're still waiting on the next paycheck. That makes sense. And if you think going to the steakhouse is important to you, then that's important to you. But in stuff that's not as important to you, you don't have to spend as much money on it. For me personally, skincare is important to me. My hair is important to me. I spend money on my skincare, I spend money on my hair. Lashes, I'm gonna get the Amazon clusters. That's fine. When it comes to eating, I'm going to cook at home. I'm not gonna always go to a restaurant. So I don't budget, but I also just don't do things too like crazy or explicit, or what's that called when you do something like a bunch of times over and over again, like strenuous. I don't know the word, but like I don't do a bunch of stuff like just crazy back to back. Like, I'm not gonna go and buy a bunch of like new clothes just every week, like, or these handbags and all that stuff. Like, I'm not doing that. I am not gonna be eating out every single day. I try to cook at home, buy groceries, cook that. I feel like that's my idea of budgeting. because me personally, I'm not the type of girl who's gonna be like, oh, I spent $50 or $100 on eating out this week. I can't eat out again. I can't even eat this week no more because I already spent my budget. I am not living like that. I'm so sorry. I'm not. I don't even calculate stuff that well. Like I can't even keep track of that. It's too much. It's too much to keep track of. So instead of doing that, it's just little habits that you do every single day to end up to your goal. So if that means if you're living at your parents' house and you're not gonna keep going out with your friends every week and like getting a bunch of drinks and all that stuff, maybe you're gonna drink at home, go out, or just like not go out as much, or like go out once a week instead of like 2-3 times a week, like stuff like that, so you can like save up and finally be able to move and stuff like that. Like that's my idea of budgeting. That's what I do. And you can use those budgeting hacks when you're living at home, and you can use those budgeting hacks when you're moved out. But I think it's so much easier to use those budgeting hacks at home because like your parents are, this is not everyone's situations, but usually your parent is buying the groceries. They're you're not paying rent, so you're able to save that. You're able to save in toiletries. Like that is expensive. Also, usually hair care stuff. When I'm at my mom's house, I'm using all her hair care stuff, all her brushes, all her combs, all her shampoo, all her conditioner. On the budgeting and saving tips, the ones who's living at home, baby, you eating that. You ate that. But that's not to say that if you're living on your own, you still can't save money, you still can't budget. You can still budget, you can still save money even if you're living on your own. You just have to be smart about it and not just be spending your money all willy-nilly. I feel like a lot of people talk about this topic of versus moving home, being at home versus moving away. I feel like a lot of people talk about this topic is the lifestyle change. When you're at home, I think just in general, it's not really that much of a change, but it could be little things just for particular people. When you're living at home, I believe that my parents gave me more freedom. Like they knew I was growing up, so more freedom comes with that. They were fine with me living at home. A lot of people's parents don't give you that type of freedom, so you might not want to live at your house. But if you're not able to really have as much freedom and you really don't have that quality time with yourself, that's another reason why you might want to get up on out of there. These are just little tiny things that might only apply to me or like just people in my, brain, with my same brain. But I love the fact that I'm able to create content at any time. Like I don't have to worry about my family just like being in the kitchen or being loud by my room or just like doing that. Like I really get to have my space to do what I need in my space. And it's just this, like being able to film and just like have complete silence staying at home because your mom cooks for you, or your parents cook for you, they clean up for you, they make sure it's gas in your car. That is amazing. Like, period. You ate that, boo. But me personally, also, I love that, and I love getting that from my family when I go back home. It's like a good woosah break for me. But me being who I am, I love, and me also just being like the oldest child, like maybe that's a part of it too. I love doing stuff for myself. I like being able to cook. Not even that I love doing stuff for myself, but I love having the autonomy to do what I want for myself and like do it how I want it for myself. So I can like make my meals tailored to me. Like, what do I want to eat today? Like just me, not what the family wants to eat today, but what does Jade want to eat today, like for dinner? These are just some rapid fire questions that were asked. First question, how much should you save? Again, I do not believe in saving a certain amount of money. I just believe you should have a plan. I mean, my mom tells me at least have like 3 months worth of rent saved. Listen to my mom. And you go ahead and do that. I'm only 22, baby. I know as much as I could tell you. But I know that it feels better coming from somebody who's experiencing it in the now and going through it in the now. And that's why I'm giving my tips. Another question was, how did you find your apartment? My family out in Jersey was able to help me with finding my apartment in terms of like during tours. I always say you need to go to where you want to move and actually tour the places with your own eyes, because I hear a lot of people in New York City who like never know what their place looks like and just have to like go there for the first day and be like, oh, this is my home. girl, I would pass out. Again, I'm a risk taker, but I do calculated risk. You telling me I don't know what my house look like and I'm about to be living here and I just signed a 6-month lease? Me personally, I couldn't do it. All power to those who can. I did tours. Luckily, I did have family out here who told me, you know, this is a good place, that is a good place, isn't a good place. But the internet is so many sites where you can go and like see that, and then you can actually go and see it for yourself and actually do the tours and look around, see what's going on, look at reviews and things of that sort. Maybe even stop somebody, you know, as you're doing a tour, like afterwards, to be like, what's really tea? Like, is this a good building or is this not a good building? Like, what's tea? And the last question is, where did I move and how did I financially plan in terms of budgeting, cutting back, and jobs? Okay, where did I move? I moved to New Jersey. I really wanted to be in New York, but New Jersey, I feel like is that good middle ground for like expenses. New York is so expensive, and again, I'm not into the struggling lifestyle. I am into abundance. I'm into abundance. Like, that is what I am into. So like, I feel like this was a good place to start. And again, like, be smart. That's a financial plan. And how did I financially plan? I went on LinkedIn and I found a job over the summer, and like over the time before I moved, I did work as well. So I kind of did save in a way. So you can save, but like, I just, you know, continuously save, and continuously earn. What is saving if you're not earning? Yeah, in terms of jobs, I made a video about that earlier in my last post-grad video, like kind of talking about jobs and stuff like that. So you can go watch that. But that concludes today's video. Let me know if there's any other post-grad topics that y'all would want to converse and discuss about. Comment below. You know, we can like have disagreements in the comments as well. If you agree with something, don't agree with something, let me know. Let's talk about these topics and continue this conversation down below. But I hope you all enjoyed this video. And it's almost Christmas, y'all. It's almost the holiday season. But make sure to watch this video all the way through, and make sure to like this video, make sure to comment, make sure to subscribe, and make sure to do all those things. Thank y'all for watching. Mwah.